5, 4, 3, 2,
Manchester United have
0.
reached the promised land.
Well, good morning, everybody. How are we all doing? Sam here, United People's TV. We're live and direct. It is Wednesday, the 27th of July, and I'm here with all the latest, microphone in the middle, all the latest Manchester United transfer news for you and updates. We're going to be speaking about Antony this morning. Nesil down there saying, Sam, late as usual. Well, if you're an OG, you would know. Big up to Sigmund, by the way. Thank you very much. I keep saying this. I feel like I'm saying this every day. Thank you very much to everybody who keeps donating memberships and helping the community grow. It's amazing. I took a look yesterday. I think we've got over 800 members now on YouTube. All of you who are a member on YouTube and you're not in the Telegram group, in the members chat, what are you doing? Go and look at the community tab. There's hundreds of you that aren't in there. Come across. It's a cracking place to be. But look, we're going to be speaking about Antony this morning. That's going to be the main focus and talking point. I've reiterated pretty much ever since that article came out, I think it was from Ian Whittle from the Telegraph, saying that Ajax were demanding 80 million for Antony and 50 million for Lisandro Martinez. I said, well, there's pretty much no chance we sign both of those this summer. And I said, and we had a conversation and we were like, I think we all agreed that Martinez was the bigger priority out of the two. Lo and behold, we've now signed Martinez. That should be announced today. Going to speak about that later in the show. And Antony, we all felt at 80 million. I mean, it's a lot. And now it's 100 million, apparently. Robert, you're down there saying, Sam, the Telegram chat is 2 million notifications. Mate, I think you can pretty much turn all the notifications off. It's the same as any app. You can control how many notifications you want. Honestly, I'd love you all to get involved in that. Nana, it's saying your birthday today. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Happy birthday to everybody who's joining in from Facebook, from YouTube. But let's dive straight into this one. We are going to speak about Antony first. As I said, I've maintained pretty much since that day that Manchester United are going to be outpriced for a move for Antony. Even if Ten Hag wants Antony, even if Antony wants Manchester United, which I think probably both are correct. Ten Hag definitely wants him. And Antony, it feels like he's moved and pushed for a transfer away. All of his agents have been continuously saying, listen to offers that are coming in. But let me run through the updates for you, and we can have a conversation about Antony in the comments. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Anybody who's new, make sure you subscribe as well. Join the community, join the family. But let's dive in here, right? Yesterday, Antony played for the first time in 4 months, I believe. He's had a bit of a big injury, and that kept him out for the end of the season when Ajax won the title, and also up until now. But I think yesterday was the first time he played in 4 months. So obviously there's a big conversation coming around Antony. And this is what Jerry Hamster says. Jerry Hamster is part of the sort of the technical department now behind the scenes at Ajax. I don't know whether he's replaced Mark Overmars or not, but he's kind of alongside there, a bit like Klaas-Jan Huntelaar. And he said, look, we have said that we always want to keep this squad together. And as everybody keeps doing, there's always a caveat. There's always the but. But I also always say, ask me again in 5 minutes, because sometimes you never know. But let me make it clear, that our intention is to keep this squad together. And we go over here and we see what Alfred Schroeder is saying. That's the new manager who replaced Erik ten Hag. He said, look, we are assuming that we can keep this squad together. Same thing. But I know, and everyone knows, that in football, you never know. Antony is still one of the names on Erik ten Hag's list at Manchester United. And it's been the case for a good long time now. But up until this point, I remember there was reports that Manchester United had put in like a 50 million bid for Antony. And I didn't go with the headline. I was like, where's that come from? No one's doing that. All of a sudden, Mike Verweij just saying, well, there's no bid that's gone in. I think that came from like Goal Brazil, who were trying to sort of basically jump on the story, jump on the hype, and create a story out of nowhere. I've tried not to feed the Antony hysteria much this summer, because just from where I was standing and looking at it, I didn't think it would happen. And now we can see what we're seeing from Ajax. And Ajax are really, it's not a surprise, I suppose. But Ajax, they're playing hard. They were always playing hardball for Antony. But now the latest from Mike Verweij from the Telegraph this morning is that they've raised the bar. Let's pull this up full screen. It's Mark Verweij is saying that Ajax have raised that price tag for Antony from 80 million euros to 100 million euros, including bonuses. The Brazilian winger would like to get his dream transfer, but Ajax have no desire to sell another player. So Mark Verweij, who of course works for the Telegraaf, who of course, as far as I'm concerned, is considered the #1 source for news when it comes out of Ajax, he's saying that the price is 100 million euros. What's your reaction to that? You can let me know in the comments below, because I think there's one thing that we can all agree on. Antony's not worth 100 million euros. Ajax are fully aware that Antony is not worth 100 million euros, but that is the price tag they've put on him. Dean, you have a super chat. Sam, do that dance in your chair like yesterday evening. I was excited. Look, Christian Eriksen came in. I was happy about that. You can let me know what you think about the video that I did release yesterday. I ran through Christian Eriksen's first interview. Let's talk about Antony first and foremost here, because 100 million euros. That is a hell of a lot of money. Sigmund, what are you saying down there, sir? I saw your name. Let me pull up there. Where is it? Oh, I saw your name, but it's disappeared. There's too many comments coming in now. Sorry about that. Let me see what else anyone else is saying. Another Sancho situation. I'll speak about that in a minute. Gamer Beans, you're saying hell no. The question is, we should be asking is, why can Ajax sell their best player to Bayern for 25 mil? Whenever we want, it's 50 million plus. Well, Ryan Gravenberch have 1 year left on his contract, so that's a little bit of a different situation. But yeah, there is definitely a United tax with everything. We know that. It's time to move on from Antony down there. No thanks, says Alan. I like what a few of them are saying. They can have Ronaldo plus cash. Well, I'm going to speak about Ronaldo next. That's obviously not going to happen. Although, you know, they got Champions League football. Thomas, you're saying they're desperate to hold Antony, but he may get disgruntled. And then that's something I actually do kind of agree with, Thomas. Ajax are going to have to be a little bit careful here, because it's obvious they don't want to lose the player, right? First and foremost, we all know that this is not a fair market valuation of Antony. Ajax are well aware of that. All United fans are everybody's well aware of that. Probably if you go on like Transfermarkt, I imagine his price tag is going to be down at somewhere between 30 and 40 million. But United aren't spending that much on that player. And it really is now, at this point, it is purely a Jadon Sancho part 2. You remember when we went after Jadon Sancho in a summer where Borussia Dortmund didn't want to sell him. They put a price tag of 130 million euros on Sancho. And United were like, they're just posturing. No, that's all right. We can go after him. We can get him. And we were sending in bids. I remember when, what's that guy? Gary Cotterill works for Sky Sports. He was outside Dortmund Stadium. And all the German journalists were like, they were laughing at him, saying, honestly, what is he doing here? Dortmund have already said that Sancho is not for sale. Like, genuinely, he's not for sale. But United kept going and going and going. And what happened? We were left empty-handed. We didn't sign Jadon Sancho that summer. We spent a long time wasting our time. And then what happened the next summer? 130 million euros? Nah. 73 million pounds, which I think translated to roughly around about 85 million euros-ish. So nearly 50 million euros less than what Dortmund were demanding the summer before. I imagine that's exactly what's happening here with Antony. Ajax, given everything that's happened, they've sold Haller. I hope he recovers after finding that tumour. They've sold Haller. Mazraoui's left on a free. They've sold Gravenberch. They've lost their manager. They've lost their assistant manager. They've lost their left back in Tagliafico. They've lost Lisandro Martinez, their centre-back. Hell, even Edson Alvarez might leave too. Their team has been absolutely shredded. Absolutely shredded. And they, quite simply put, they just don't want to lose Antony. And that's why that price tag is on his head. That price tag is not a fair market valuation. Everybody knows that. But to Ajax, that's how much Antony is worth to them this season. Because they just don't want to lose him. But I do agree with a couple of comments that came down there that said, you know, Ajax have got to be a little bit careful. Because if they do completely outprice it, because Antony is clearly, he's an ambitious, talented footballer, right? And he's now staying at a club that sold their starting choice centre-back, let their manager go, let their assistant manager go, let their left-back go, let their right-back go, let their best midfielder go. And he's got to stay in that team. He's now at the beginning of a new rebuild. And he doesn't think that he's at that point in his career. So it's going to be a little bit dangerous. Gary, you're down here saying, look, if he pushes, it takes a little bit of the power away from Ajax. But given that he's in a contract, given the fact that they've sold so much this summer, given the fact that they don't have any financial burdens or overheads, Antony doesn't have too much. If Antony had pushed for his move earlier this summer, I think he probably would have got it. And then maybe it would have been Sebastian Haller stuck in a situation where he wanted to leave, but he couldn't leave. 100 million. Let's just move on. And I'll tell you what, sorry, Liban, you sent a super chat, my friend, but you didn't put a comment in. So you need to send a normal comment. I'll try and read that out. I've been waiting to do a video on alternatives for Antony, and today seems like the right time to release that. So at lunchtime today, I'm going to do my video looking at 7 or 8 Antony alternatives. And the thing about looking at Antony alternatives is it very much is intertwined in this Ronaldo story, which makes it difficult for Manchester United. Because if I'm being completely honest, and I'm looking at the strengths, and I'm looking at our squad, I'm looking at the strengths that we've got, and I'm looking at the weaknesses, especially in terms of the depth, I think we're looking far stronger on the wings than we are through the middle. For sure. I mean, I'm not saying that we've got incredible depth on the wing. You know, Jadon Sancho, an injury to him, we're probably going to be screwed. And Marcus Rashford started the season well, but he was a bit naff last year. But we've got a bit of quality and options there. You can throw in Pellistri on that right wing, or Elanga. You can put in Garnacho on the left wing. You can put Rashford there. I personally think that we've got options on the wings. But through the middle, right now, it's Martial or bust. I imagine because Cristiano Ronaldo probably won't get the move that he wants, it'll be Ronaldo and Martial. But still, I think that versatile forward is something that we have to consider, right? So I'm going to run through potential options for a direct replacement. But spoiler alert, I think Hakim Ziyech has to be a conversation that we have. Even if you think, Sam, you know, he's 29, he's the wrong age, blah, blah, blah. I mean, 29 is still absolutely fine. But we're not going to spend 100 million on Antony. And this is exactly why I've tried not to feed the hysteria and the hype about Antony, because ever since that first story came out with the 80 million price tag, I said, there's no chance really that we're going to be paying that. And given, let's not be like sitting here mega surprised that all of a sudden the price is 20 million higher than it was before, because with the Martinez deal, the price was 50 million and we ended up paying 65 million. So now they're just doing the same thing with Antony, and the same scenario exists. We would have to pay. Martinez wasn't worth 65 million euros. I think it was 65 million euros. Thereabouts overall, including bonuses. It was a bit overpriced for what he was, but that's how important he was to our team this season. Therefore, we've signed him. Antony wouldn't hold that same value. It's the same reason why I don't think we were ever going to be, even if Ronaldo had left, I'm not sure that we would have spent 80 to 100 million on Darwin Núñez. I don't think so anyway. And that's the same reason we won't spend 80 to 100 million on Antony. So as far as I'm concerned, the Antony conversation this summer, buried, dead. If we want to go back in for Antony next summer, maybe repeat the same sort of situation where Dortmund were demanding that much for Sancho and we signed him for like 40 million less the summer after, then great. We'll go and do that. But maybe by the time next summer comes around, hell, if we're going to be spending 65 million on somebody, maybe that person should be Christopher Nkunku, who's got a release clause in his contract that's valid from next summer, having signed a new deal with Leipzig this year. It's Ajax have priced him out of the move, and they will hold on to him, right? Unless he puts in like a formal transfer request, comes out with an interview saying, I don't know, if it gets messy. I don't think it will get messy. But yeah, I don't think Antony's coming. I didn't think Antony was coming, as I said, ever since that 80 million price tag was put on his head. What you were saying down here in the comments, let me read a few of these out. Or Bellingham next summer. Bellingham, absolutely. Dre, you're saying, look, I'll be honest, I can't blame Ajax. Their team's been ripped apart for the last 2-3 years, and they have to rebuild. Of course. I've said that. I mean, it's the Ajax business model to sell players and replace them from the youth academy or smart scouting signings and build them up again. But the scale of what they've lost in a single season is probably quite unprecedented. The only other comparison they would have was when they lost De Ligt and De Jong in the same summer. But now they've lost probably their best central midfielder, their best centre-back, their manager, their assistant manager, their best right-back, their best left-back. Their whole defence has been shredded. And their goalkeeper left. Went to Inter on a free. Is it Inter? I think it was Inter. Oh, no. Yeah, and their best strikers left. It's like they've got a hell of a lot to do. But look, I'll have a conversation about Antony alternatives. I'm going to bring it out at lunchtime. I'm happy I've waited to do that video. Today seems the right time to have that conversation. If we go next summer after Antony, I wouldn't be surprised, but there will be other players available for that price that we're going to be interested in. Christopher Nkunku is absolutely going to be one of those. QP, nice to see you joining the family, my friend. Let me know where you're watching from. I'll try and give you a shout out. I mean, no one's acting like Barcelona. Jesus. Let me read a few more of your comments. Pete, you're saying we don't need him. He's overrated. I wouldn't say he's overrated. I would say Antony's clearly a talented player who has a higher ceiling than what he's currently playing, but he's not a 100 million euros player. Absolutely not. Mo, as I said, that might be the only thing that could semi-change it if Antony really took a public stance. If Antony would be out, but I don't think he's got that sort of relationship with Ajax. I don't think he would do that because it would be a bit of an underhand thing to do. But at the same time, him and his agent could argue what Ajax are doing by putting that 100 million price tag on his head is slightly underhand from them. It is what it is. St. Maximan, imagine that. He is quite fun to watch. Sandy, what are you saying? Thoughts on Pulisic? No. That's my thoughts on Pulisic. Ziyech for now, then Antony next summer. We'll find out. As I said, I'm going to run through some alternatives because I think it's important that we take a look at them. Because I think we're signing an attacker this summer. We've always been signing an attacker this summer. But of course, it all depends on what happens with this man. Let me run through the articles from Ian Whittle from the Telegraph and from Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic on what happened yesterday, on the conversations between Ronaldo and Manchester United, because he came back to the club. But you can see the headline right there. Ronaldo has been told in no uncertain terms, you are not leaving the club. Liban, let me know. Oh, no, that's the same. You just done it twice. I think you just done it twice. No, actually, I think. Oh, no, you just sent a super chat. That's what it was. I see you joining us. Remember, my friend. Amanda, this is something I've actually, to quickly go back here. This is something I've reiterated quite a few times here on United People's TV. With a player like Frenkie de Jong, I don't personally think there is an alternative of that level. And it's exactly why we've been going after de Jong and de Jong only. With Antony, there's alternatives. If we couldn't get Martinez, I think there were alternatives. But with Antony, I don't think, no offense to him, but he is a tricky winger who cuts it. We can find alternatives to Antony far easier than we can find alternatives to Frenkie de Jong. That's why I think so anyway. Let's go up here and let's read this though. So this is, I'm going to read this for a minute or two and then I'll head back down to the comments. This is what Ian Whittle said on those talks that happened yesterday between Manchester United and Cristiano Ronaldo. Let me go full screen here so you can see him. Manchester United have refused to budge from their hardline position that Ronaldo must stay at Old Trafford after an opening round of talks with the unsettled star. A day of negotiations at the club's training ground ended in impasse, with the Portuguese forward still believed to be entrenched in his... So Ronaldo still wants to leave. We all know that. Ronaldo has been reiterating from day one that he wants to leave. In response, United have been equally adamant that they will not move in their position. Now, Fergie was at Carrington, and I spoke about that in my video yesterday. When I ran through my to-do list for Ten Hag, which is pretty exhaustive, I'll be completely honest. Ten Hag's still got so many things to sort out before this summer can be considered completed. And that includes Ronaldo's situation, that includes de Jong, that includes player sales, that includes player loans, that includes so many, between 5 and 10 different deals have to be completed, I think, between now and the end of the summer for it to be considered a successful summer. And with Ronaldo, United are just staying firm. So apparently Fergie and Richard Arnold, no, Fergie was there for a board meeting with David Gill. That's what we heard yesterday. I was a little bit annoyed at the idea that Fergie was coming in to put his arm around Ronaldo's shoulder and say, "Oh, you're making the wrong decisions, Ronaldo." The concept of that I found quite frustrating. Ten Hag can deal with this himself. He doesn't need Fergie to come in there and do the dirty work for him. And Ten Hag sat there and had conversations with Ronaldo yesterday. And today we're playing Wrexham behind closed doors. We won't know, of course, because behind closed doors, we won't know whether Ronaldo plays or not. But from everything we're hearing, Ronaldo's not going to feature in these 2 games at the weekend against Atletico Madrid or Rayo Vallecano at Old Trafford. Somebody sent in a super chat there. Let me quickly read that out. Len, you're saying, off topic here, why don't United look at Mohamed Dahoud from Dortmund? He's so underrated and he's cheaper and better than McFred. It's a very random name that's just popped up. I don't think anybody's mentioned Dahoud there. But most people are better than McFred. But as I keep saying, stop putting McTominay and Fred together, people. McFred, stop saying McFred. It's McTominay and it's Fred. 2 individuals, 2 midfielders who so happen to be played alongside each other for a lot of their careers. Fred is a very decent footballer who I think will only grow into this squad this season. McTominay, I think, is going to really struggle for game time. But we still need our midfield sorting, even if we've got Christian Eriksen in. Heading back to this Ronaldo story, though. United would not reveal the extent to which Fergie or Arnold were involved in talks with Ronaldo, Ten Hag, and Mendes. The club, citing confidentiality, would not comment on the nature of the talks. United have confirmed that their position is unaltered. Ronaldo is not for sale. And I'll tell you what, this is clearly the hardline approach that United are taking. And I don't know where I stand on it, because I think it's the right thing to do. And ultimately, even if United didn't have that stance and United were willing to sell, I don't even know if we could. I really genuinely don't know if we could. We obviously don't know how much we can trust what any president of any Spanish club says. I think this summer's taught us that. But this is what Atletico Madrid's president said. I don't know who invented the story about Ronaldo to Atletico Madrid. It's definitely not true. It's practically impossible for him to come to Atletico Madrid. And that's kind of something we knew and something that we felt for a long, long time. But United are just, it doesn't matter what Ronaldo does, how much posturing Ronaldo does in the media, whatever he wants to say. United have no intention of letting Ronaldo go. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, right? Because I'll definitely read a few of your comments out here. Do you think that if Ronaldo, because let's be honest, this is the second time when Manchester United have been in a situation, let's rewind to 2008, when Ronaldo was posturing for a move away. Sepp Blatter said that he's been held as a slave. And then Ronaldo sort of agreed with him, insinuating that he was being held against his own will at Manchester United. We kept him for 1 more year. 2008, 2009, we obviously got through to the Champions League final again. We lost to Barca in Rome, I think that was. That game where Messi scored. Messi, the little fucking midget, scored a header. And Ronaldo, was that the game that Ronaldo missed a penalty? I think it was. But Ronaldo, obviously he wasn't the same as he was the year before. That was a 42 goals, Ballon d'Or, double winning Ronaldo. But we kept him for 1 more year. And now all of a sudden, 14 years later, we're in a situation where Ronaldo wants to leave again. He doesn't have a dream club anymore. He doesn't really have any club that he's aiming towards. He was whoring himself out. Chelsea, Bayern. Go on then. Anybody? Juve? Nah, that's right. Real Madrid, go on in. And nobody wants him. Nobody can afford to get... It's a bit of a fall from grace. Massively devaluing himself. But do you think that if Ronaldo stays this season, and I'll be honest, at this point in time, it's more likely that Ronaldo stays than Ronaldo leaves. That's my opinion anyway. How do you think he's going to be mentally? Do you feel that he would just bury all of that and just have a cracking season anyway? Do you feel like it would be something that just hangs around and lingers in the dressing room? Do you think it's something that would kind of undermine Ten Hag's position? You let me know what you think. Danny, I'm not talking about the penalty he missed in the shootout. I swear he missed a penalty in the Champions League final as well. I swear he did. Did he? Oh, I'm making that up. Maybe it wasn't in the final, but Ronaldo missed a penalty early on in the game. Let me see what you're saying. Without Ronaldo, we finished lower than 10th. I wouldn't put that much. I would say I've been getting some real pelters on Twitter yesterday. It's incredible. And I suppose Ronaldo, it definitely happens with Ronaldo, but there's a lot of fans who follow Ronaldo rather than following a team. And therefore, yeah, if you say a bad word, You get pelters. Lee, that was it. Missed penalty in the semi-final. I knew he missed a penalty. Sorry, my bad. I'm uncomfortable, says Paula, with Ronaldo staying. To be honest, love the guy, but he screwed himself over. He's effectively shot himself in both feet now, isn't he? He didn't turn up for 5 days before the preseason tour started. He wasn't there on any of the preseason. And the fact that he turned up on the first day where we've returned goes to, yeah, as I said, this whole family and personal issues meant that you couldn't make any sort of assumptions, but the timelines just don't match up. I don't think so anyway. Let me go down here and see what you're saying over in The Athletic. This is what Laurie Whitwell's saying. He goes, after that meeting, United's stance on Ronaldo not being for sale remained the same. They view him as an important player who Ten Hag has consistently said he wants as part of his team. And that is very true, right? Since Ten Hag became manager, he's reiterated that Ronaldo's in his plans. So it's not technically as if the plans for the whole season are getting screwed up here. All right. Okay. Sorry. Someone's telling me the wrong thing. Ronaldo didn't just miss that penalty in the final against Chelsea. He missed another penalty. I can't remember when it was. Not when I'm here live, but you'll keep telling me the wrong answers. I'll Google it after myself. Zalani, you're saying that you want him gone. Martial will score as many goals as well. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would back Martial to get as many goals as Ronaldo. Well, prove me wrong, Martial. No one's buying Ronaldo yet. He has the balls, the posture. Don't sell. Bench him. We're not going to bench Ronaldo. We know that fully well. Psyched. Ronaldo could very well be made to warn the bench if he starts undermining Ten Hag. I suppose it's a bit like the. We don't know who it was, but the player on the preseason tour who turned up late for 2 meetings, he was dropped from the squad altogether. He very much is. I don't know what the right or the wrong thing to say about Ronaldo is anymore. I really don't. And you're down here saying, look, come on, people, this is Ronaldo. We're not talking about Hernandez here. Him staying will help us score goals, but how will it affect the rest of the team? There's no doubt whatsoever that Ronaldo would score 20-plus goals next year. And the way that we played in preseason showed me that maybe even more than that, because we're clearly going to be playing with creating chances. Ronaldo can sort of stay in a better position inside the box. Last year, he was dropping deep, defensive midfielder, left wing back, right wing back, trying to win the ball back. But I don't like how he's gone about this. And it feels like he's sort of come back with his tail between his legs to Manchester United because nobody wants him. That's the wrong thing to say. Everybody wants him. Nobody can afford him. And therefore, nobody wants him. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. It's such a fucking side story and a circus I didn't want this summer, but it's one that's going to rumble on. And I don't think he's going to leave. I really do not think he's going to leave because I just do not think he has any options. I think if Chelsea had wanted him, he'd probably already be a Chelsea player. But remember last season, or not last season, the season before, well, technically it was last season, where he said he wanted to leave Juventus. He didn't leave Juventus by the time that Serie A started. He played a few games, and what happened? He joined Manchester United right at the end of August. To a huge hoo-ha. I don't think that's going to happen again this summer, but I think this is going to rumble on. And Ronaldo's a professional, right? That is his brand. He's built this CR7 brand on his ultra professionalism. So, of course, he was going to turn up yesterday. Of course, he will turn up for training now, but not when it didn't suit him a couple of weeks ago. Manza, top work, brother. Love the content and community. Are seemingly less idiotic than many other outlets. Thank you very much, Manza. I like to think that in the comments every day we have some genuine interaction, debate, and conversation. It's not just about trolling, shouting. And I try to answer as many of your questions as possible. Dave, what are you saying? His family issues couldn't have been that bad if he spent at least 4 hours a day in the gym in Porto. Hey, sometimes, I mean, anybody who does gym regularly, the gym is a great place to get rid of what's in your head and to release it into some sort of positive energy. The gym can definitely do that. So in terms of mental health and sort of issues, the gym can help a lot of people. So I wouldn't just say that. It's a bit simple to say that. And he's saying to give Ronaldo a bit of support, he did say if a suitable offer came in, so he worded his desire to leave politely and considerately. I wouldn't talk about politeness in the way that anything has gone down here with Ronaldo, and I think that's completely missing the point. He's not polite. He didn't turn up for 5 days of preseason training. He wasn't part of any sort of the preseason tour, and his match fitness will be weeks behind everybody else because he hasn't trained. He hasn't been there. 51 Triads there saying, look, you can let a lot of anger out in a constructive way in the gym. I love it. I go to the gym like 4 times a week. I love the gym. I love training because it's that feeling of success. And that's why I like it anyway. It's the idea that you're making yourself a better version than the person who was there yesterday, just by going there and just making yourself stronger. I like it anyway. I'll be honest. I don't like this whole Ronaldo story. I don't think Ten Hag likes a Ronaldo story, but United have been very direct and very clear with our stance on Ronaldo from day one. Ronaldo's not for sale. We have no intention of selling Ronaldo, and I don't think that's changed. Ronaldo coming back, that's all he's going to hear. And if a suitable offer does come in, that's not going to come in because no one's going to pay his wages and pay the money that United want. It's also madness here that people would, that Atletico Madrid were like, yeah, we'll take him if we can have him for free, and he has a wage reduction. Nah, man, Ronaldo has, I don't know. Sat saying the way things have gone down is down to the media and the way things are reported. He's not spoken disrespect. What do you mean? It's down to the way things are reported. He didn't turn up. It's nothing to do with how things are reported. He didn't turn up. It's got nothing to do with the wording of anything, my friend. Go down here and see what you're saying. We need a pure number 9, says Peter. Martial injuries worries me. If Ronaldo stays, it's a blessing. I don't know. I can't be bothered to talk about him anymore. I'm going to move on. Ronaldo, in my opinion, Ronaldo is completely staying at the club. I think if he was going to leave, that offer would have already come in. If it came in at this point from Chelsea, we'd all be mega surprised. It's not going to come in from Bayern Munich. They've made that very, very clear. He's not going to go Saudi Arabia for the money. So it's not finances that are taking him anywhere. Therefore, that rules him out of anywhere, any club that's not in the Champions League. Therefore, it's a very small pot of clubs that could sign him. And we all know full well that he hasn't got that offer. So I think Ronaldo's going to stay. If he doesn't stay, I'll be very, very surprised at this point. I'm going to move on to the next point. I think someone's down here suggesting in the comments that somebody has been handing out. I've got, because I can't see what I've got on screen here. I can't actually see if anybody gifts memberships. Yeah, it is Josh Povey, my G. Thank you very much, Josh, for that. Anybody down here? Ironically, gift is asking for a gift. Anybody who asks for a gift should technically get banned. I mean, don't actually ban them. That'll be a little bit unfair. But don't ask for gifts, people, man. Don't beg. Gifts are gifts. Gifts are people being generous and helping the community grow. Don't go out there with your hands out. That's wrong. But look, I'm quickly going to move on here to. I wouldn't say this is an update on Frenkie de Jong. This is just more whispers and murmurs coming from yesterday. This is from Marcel van der Kraan, writes for the Telegraaf. He's saying what I've reiterated this entire summer. Frenkie de Jong will not leave Barcelona until he receives the money that he is owed. Since de Jong is still owed a lot of salary, 19 million euros, he refuses to leave or even talk about a transfer. Barcelona want to use pressure to force him to cooperate voluntarily. And that's exactly what's been happening. And it still staggers me that I have to sort of explain this to people. Sam, let's move on. Let's go away. De Jong doesn't want to leave, blah, blah, blah. He wants to stay at Barcelona. But people still at this point don't understand the subtle differences between that. Barca are just, they got their own way before because Gerard Piqué reduced his wages and they were able to register Memphis Depay and Eric Garcia that summer. They're trying to do the same thing again this summer by signing Rafinha and Lewandowski and trying to get de Jong to be the player who takes the big pay cut. And he's saying no because of the favors that he's done them before. Everybody got a 10% pay cut because of coronavirus. He then took a substantial pay cut with the intention of staying at the club for the long term. It was a little bit foolish on his part. They took advantage of it. I wonder whether Barcelona ever intended to pay De Jong those wages. That's why I think so anyway. But that's the last thing I want to say on the Frenkie de Jong situation. It's exactly what I've been reiterating for a long, long time, and that's because it's the truth. Tell you what, 51 Triads, I will mention Memphis as one of the alternatives to Antony. I don't personally think it's something that United should be considering, but on paper, he's technically an alternative. Ray, what are you saying? On De Jong, he better get used to playing centre-back, and he had a last terrible game. Hey, look, Xavi and Barcelona are flexing. They're basically saying, look, okay, you want to stay? All right, you can play centre-back. They played like Sergio Roberto in midfield instead of De Jong. It's ridiculous what they're doing. A proper two fingers approach from Barca to De Jong. And still he's just but De Jong's staying firm. He's got all the cards here. He knows that the club wants to sell him. He knows that the club have got the fee for him. All right, cool. That's fine. Just give me my money. Then we can have a conversation. That's what I think. So anyway. Jay, you're saying, look, Sam, what facts do you have to support your theory on Frenkie? I'm not saying you're wrong, but without facts, everything's on the table still. That's cool. I don't have facts. I don't know. I feel very strongly, I suppose, about my interpretation of this story. And I don't think that United deserve as much criticism, I suppose, that people are throwing at us for continuing to go after Frenkie de Jong. It's not embarrassing that we're going after de Jong. It's not abysmal that we're going after de Jong. De Jong has obviously told Ten Hag, yeah, cool, I'll join. Otherwise, we wouldn't be this far down the line. And that's why I think I'm so steadfast and firm in how I approach this de Jong story. Because trust me, I've slammed the club left, right, and centre for all the crap that they've done wrong in the last few years. But our approach here in this de Jong situation is not our fault at this particular moment in time. The fee's already agreed, man. What's the plan for the next transfer window, in that land, Jen? Well, let's worry about getting this transfer window done first. As I said in the video yesterday, there's still so much to do. And then we've got the announcement of Alvaro Fernandez going to Preston North End and also signing a new contract just before he left. Good luck to him. Good luck to Alvaro Fernandez. A full season. That's exactly what he needs at this point in his career. And I really hope he shines. The Championship served James Garner well, served Ethan Laird well before he went to Bournemouth. There's been a couple of good loan spells we've had in the Championship in recent years. And I hope very much that Alvaro is the next one of those. And yesterday was, of course... Oh, wrong button. Yesterday was, of course, Christian Eriksen Day. I said that in the morning. Happy days. We had the announcement. Well, it wasn't the announcement. He came up to training. And then, obviously, that wasn't recorded yesterday because if you looked at the video, it wasn't the same car that he drove into training yesterday. So that interview wasn't done yesterday. It was probably done before. But United released it yesterday. Christian Eriksen will probably be playing against Wrexham today. Maybe we're going to be seeing some training photos. That'll be cool. I'm looking forward to it. But today is Lisandro Martinez Day. I'm excited about this. I'm the butcher of Amsterdam. No, he's not. He's a butcher of Manchester. I can't wait to get this announcement done. I'm definitely going to be going live later on when this is done. Mike Verweij from the Telegraaf yesterday saying that Martinez was either going to be made official yesterday or today. Didn't happen yesterday. Let's go here and see what happens with Lisandro Martinez today. Spurs fan told me that Eriksen's a passenger in central midfielder. I mean, Eriksen hasn't played for Spurs for a good long time. Eriksen is as I explained in the video yesterday, he's a supplementary signing, but a very, very good one and a very decent free transfer. We'll have a quick conversation in the comments. Like I say, we've got plenty of conversations to have in the comments still, but please drop a like on the video. Lots and lots of you join in. And there are so many people that just hit that like button. It really will help. It will show YouTube that, you know what, you actually like the content. So YouTube will start showing it to more people. Let me see what else you're saying down here in the comments about Lisandro Martinez. The Butcher at Stretford. Oof, it's such a good nickname. Such a good nickname. Ray, you're saying, look, put yourselves in Frankie's position. Hell yeah, man. I've told you, if you had helped your business out and you were giving them 70% of your wages for 2 years, and then they tried to make you join I don't know, a different business, and they weren't going to give you those 70% of those wages that you owed, what are you going to do? Just walk away? No, you're going to be like, give him my money, man. Give him the money. Lisandro Martinez Day, best day. Oof, the butcher. Let's go on. After implementing the system with the players he worked with next season will be a broader market. He's talking about Ten Hag and his approach of going after Ajax players. Yep, absolutely. Comment there saying, Sam, what's your thoughts on the new kits? Honestly, I don't give a crap. I mean that in the politest way possible. I don't give a crap. It changes nothing. If we're successful in this kit, then maybe I'm going to start building some nice memories on it. But as far as every season, there's a new kit. Every season, I'm just as bored as I am the year before. It's hard to get excited about a kit. Although saying that, I do like the away kit. I think the away kit looks a bit tasty. But nah. You get 5'6" butchers. What is every butcher over 6 foot tall? 2.9K. Look, go on, people. Drop a like on the video. Help the channel. Let me go and see what you're saying down here. Don't beg for likes if people shouldn't beg for me. I'm not allowed to ask for likes, apparently. Okie dokie. Thank you very much, Rocky. So it's nice for you to tell me what I'm supposed to do on my own channel. What else are we saying down here in the comments? James, Kim will come, but Antony will know. I reckon we will get an attacker that we haven't spoken about. I'm going to run through that. As I said, the Antony alternatives video, I've been waiting for the right time to do it, and I am going to do it today. It's definitely the right time because as far as I'm concerned, this is the last time that we should really be having a conversation about Antony on this channel. Any other conversation past this point feels like a bit of a waste of our time unless Antony puts in a transfer request. Antony putting in a genuine transfer request, then maybe we can have a conversation about that. Charlie, if you're asking why I don't do merch for the channel, the merchandise is something I'll explain to you, actually, as soon as you ask the question, because I had a conversation on the phone last night with my designer. I'm working on merchandise. I've been working on merchandise for a long, long time. And I think merchandise, just my personal opinion, I think merchandise has been done wrong with football, certainly with United in football, everywhere. Merchandise has always been quick fix, easy designs, mass scale, with no real thought about quality design, quality process, and stuff that stands out. So I've been working on some designs for a long, long time. I just haven't released them yet because I've not been happy with them. But I'm aiming, I'm aiming to have a merch launch by around about October. So I promise you that I'm working on merch, and I promise you it's going to stand out. It's going to be different to anything that exists at the moment, right? It's something that I feel quite passionate about and something I want to get right before I release it. So that's why I've not had any merch up until this point and why I won't release merch until I'm really, really happy with it. But trust me, I had some cracking ideas for designs. And if we can do them correctly, they're really going to stand out. They're really going to stand out. Scott, yeah, I apologize for anybody who wanted the podcast. I apologize for not mentioning it on the podcast last week. We're having 1 week off on the podcast because consider it the end of season 1. And we're going to be coming back with a podcast next week where we have our season predictions. Me, Matt, Bao, Neil, and Alex. And then the season kicks on and the season starts the week after. So next week will be the first episode of season 2. Maybe you can get some sneak peeks maybe in the members chat on Telegram. As I said, all the members that have joined, please get involved in that Telegram community. Keep making it bigger and bigger and better. I'll be killing Martial again, says Ghost. He gets fit, sorts his attitude, looks hungry again. Then Ronnie goes AWOL and looks like he could get straight back in. I do not think that is going to be the case whatsoever. Ronaldo will not get back into that team straight away, right? Ronaldo, I think, is going to have to sit on the bench. And that's his own undoing. That's his own fault. Because if Ronaldo had been part of the whole then he would be part of the conversation, but he's not. And we've started to develop a team. And I'm not saying that we're better without Ronaldo, but I'm saying that at the start of the season, I imagine we're going to be seeing Martial starting up front. Sam, where'd you get the posters from? I got them from Stan Chow. Anybody, if you want some help, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram in my DMs, and I can give you a code to use for that Stan Chow has been nice enough to give me. What are we all saying down here in the comments? We'll get Antony next season for cheaper. Absolutely, I think we will. If we want him next summer, right? If we want him. Next summer, we might go after Nkunku, who we know is available for 65 million euros, because that's going to be his release clause. What else are we saying? Last couple of questions. Have you heard anything about getting another keeper in? I think we're definitely short. I don't think we're short at the moment. Who have we got? We've got De Gea. We've got Heaton. Who's our third choice now? I don't know who our third choice is anymore. Henderson's obviously gone out on loan. I think we had Kovar. I suppose technically we're a little bit short. I haven't heard anything. I thought maybe we'd go after Sam Johnston, but he went to Crystal Palace. Look, I'll wrap that up for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. As always, I'll try to answer as many questions and interact with you as much as I possibly can. Sigmund, you're a legend for helping the community grow with those gifted memberships. Same to you, Josh. Legends, both of you. Thank you to everybody. All the new members, man. Get on that community tab. After this, I'll post it again, just so you can see it. Maybe it will pop up in your notifications. But there's so many of you that need to join. I'll see you on there. Today's lunchtime video is going to be me looking at Antony alternatives. In my opinion, it's the perfect time to have that conversation. We should be back later today, hopefully, with the announcement for this bad boy. Can't wait to see that. But thank you all for joining in this morning. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Take it easy.